Hey guys, CRL Rosberg back at it again for another video. This time we're back for another CRL race. This is the first commentated CRL race I'm doing, because Bahrain was actually edited before AOR, and well, then I commentated for AOR, and I'd already uploaded CRL, but just never actually made it public because I'm kind of retarded. But finally back for commentated CRL highlights. This hasn't happened for maybe about 2 months now, since I would have said Abu Dhabi Season 5, and now we're 6 rounds into CRL Season 6. And I'm actually missing the Spanish Grand Prix. That's because, well, I'm lazy. just didn't bother editing it. But just to quickly sum it up, it was a dry to wet race. At the very end it went to intermediate conditions. I pit for intermediates, and I was second. So Fries, who's winning the championship at the moment, was leading. He kept going for another lap. Realised he was losing too much time, pit, but actually sped into the pits. Got a 5-second stop go. I was within 5 seconds, but on the last lap, actually got a track extending penalty that was so bullshit that when I let the other leaders decide on the outcome of the ridiculous warning that I got, they took it off, and I was actually given the race win. But I'm still 32 points behind. 32 points behind Sir Fries. But now we've got to focus on for Silverstone now. This is actually a race where I've actually gone undefeated in CRL, winning in Season 1, 2, 3 and 5. Didn't actually race in Season 4, but as you can see FP0 going into first at the moment. We could have taken a lot more curb there, but you know, we didn't. Turn 2 is basically nothing. Turn 3 you're going to break where just after the 100-meter board, turn in 4th gear. Try and get a bit of a wide line. That's not really fantastic, not going to lie. Not quite getting on the power as early as I probably should. Coming on to now one of the straights, Wellington Hangar, I don't know the corner name to this track, and just shit straights and everything. Turning in currently purple, we're actually slightly down on MVP Zero's pole position at the moment. Coming around whatever corner that is, into 5th and 6th gear, round another corner, it's basically nothing in an F1 car. Coming into the Cops corner, going to turn in, there's some like marks on the tarmac that I use as my turning point, staying close to the outside as possible. Turn in through the Max Beckett's and Chapel section, not great at all. It's going to cost us a lot of time that, after just not clipping the apex. As you can see, running wide as well, it's just not gone well this lap. But we're still really close to pole at the moment, which is actually really annoying because those couple of corners were actually awful. Trying to get on the power as early as possible out of Stowe, coming into the Vale chicane. I'm going to break up the 100-meter board, try not to lock up, just about clip that nicely, and onto the power as early as possible. Team Vodka Shot goes to the pole position with a 27 dead. We do a 27-1, under a 10th off pole. But the lap was awful. I mean, that's a 10th off my CRL lap from last season, and I could have done a 26 last season. And, you know, that lap's just appalling, I'm not going to lie. But Team Vodka Shot will get pole position ahead of MP0, Surprise and myself. Cyril Hamilton's a long way down the field, so that's pretty much his race. Is kind of a write-off at the moment, unless he can make something up at the start of the race. But we're going to be preparing for the start of this race. It's an easy one stop from Supers to Softs. Wasn't actually sure of the pit window because I don't do much practice for CRL. Well, I don't do enough practice for leagues anyway. But we're going to be preparing for the 5 red lights for the British Grand Prix for CRL Season 6. It's lights out and away we go. Team Vodka Shot and MVP Zero don't get great starts. Myself and Surprise get pretty good launches as they lag a little bit. They haven't really got anywhere to go from P4 on the grid. Surprise has already slipped into 2nd. We kind of need to follow him. I brake quite early, trying to follow around the outside of MVP Zero. He squeezes a little bit and he's lagging, and we've been hit by Amazed as well. And we've actually lost a place off the start, so we got a really good launch, just for it to be for nothing really. And Amazed is going to go defensive, very defensive for whatever reason. I'm going to try and go around the outside of him, but nothing's really going to work out for us with the heavy fuel. Can't really just drive around his outside, and this is actually the start that I didn't need to happen. Team Vodka Shot's leading the way. I mean, he's not really the championship contender at the moment, but Surprise is winning the championship by 32 points. And he's in second. We started on the same row. He went up a place and I lost one. And as you can see, that is MP0 is actually running wide. And we're stuck behind Amazed. And he's slightly dropped off the back of MVP. Which is, well, not great. We need to get past Amazed. And as you can see, the lag, for whatever reason, was dodgy. I mean, I host this league, but like, I host every single race, and my internet's... Well, it's not my internet, I'm just going to say that now before the fucking Lagberg comments come in. It's not my internet, so shut up. Amazed is having a bit of an issue out of Stowe, so we're going to look up his inside into the Belgian chicane. We're going to make him go wide, have a compromised run out the last corner, trying to slip up the inside. We got the tighter line. Making a bit of contact with Amazed, run his inside for turn 1, just being sure he has enough space. Actually turn in really early and just cut the corner. But now we've got, I don't know what that is, maybe about 7 to 8 tenths gap to the front 3, and thankfully Surprise hasn't actually got in front of Vodka Shot yet, which is really, really important for us. As you can see, they're weaving down the straights and everything. We just need to stay focused now, really get the hammer down and try and close up onto these 3, because this race is pretty much going to decide the championship, I feel. If Josh was to was to get in front and just run away, that could be curtains for me, because I've had a complete mare of a season. Lost out a couple of races due to just some misfortunes. Coming into Stowe now, you can just about see Vodka Shot going defensive, and Josh has actually lost his front wing. He's actually made contact with Team Vodka Shot, and he's got to peel into the pit lane on lap 2 of 26 of the British Grand Prix. We're trying to go around the outside of MVP0. We've got the inside line for the final corner. Trying to get him the power as early as possible. Squeeze him out a little bit. Try and give him enough space though. But coming into turn 1 again, we have to go side by side with another driver. We kind of cut it again, but we didn't actually get a warning for it, thankfully. But you can actually call it that. But Josh, it's absolutely gone wrong for Surprise Man. MVP0 is trying to look up her inside again. But for this is the blessing in disguise. I mean, Cyril Hamilton, he had rapid pace. He actually was involved in the collision on the first or second lap. Surprise, he's got into a bit of a mare as well. And that's 2 people that were they were quicker than me, I'm not going to lie. Out of the running for this race win. So now it's just me, MVP0 and Team Vodka Shot that's got to fight this out and decide among ourselves who's going to win this race. MVP0, he's not a million miles away in the championship. He's, I think, sitting just behind me. But Vodka Shot, on the other hand, he's down in like P10 or something in the championship. So he's very quick, but I think he hasn't. I think he missed a couple of races in Australia. He finished like 11th or something. So he needs a little bit more luck. He needs a result like where he is now. But then again, so do I. 18 points to 32 isn't really enough. I can make it 25, and that's all handy dandy. But MVP0's got other things in mind. He wants to take the 2nd place off me, and we're just about going to manage to keep it in front. As another lap goes by onto lap 4, Vodka Shot will still continue to lead the way, 8 tenths in front of myself, and MVP0 is all over the back of me, just harassing my rear end. As once again he goes for another dive, and all the time he goes for lunges, he's just costing us more and more time, and it's actually losing us ground to the leader instead of him actually making up ground to the leader. And Amazed, he's also still in there, but as you can see coming into here, we're going to be as late on the brakes as we can, turn in as quick as possible, just to try and cover off the run that MP0 might have with the DRS, and probably the lack of slipstream now, since somebody's probably already left the session. And you can actually see on the minimap someone's actually coming to the pits again. I think that's actually Josh again, because obviously with the wing damage, I don't think the game changed its wing, so he had to pit again, which is just curtains at the moment for Josh, which is really, really unfortunate. Like, although this is helping me in the championship, I'd prefer if it was just a straight fight between me and Josh, a bit like Australia and Bahrain, and kind of like Spain really, where it's just us 2 up front, and unlike, well, Australia and Bahrain was more kind of a bit like just a time attack. We're just battling, trying to keep the gap close to each other. But while I'm ranting about time trial, We set the fastest lap of the race, and Team Vodka Shot is really struggling at the moment. He's made a couple of mistakes on that lap, and we've actually closed him down. We haven't exactly pulled away from MVP 0 though, but Amazed has slightly dropped off the group. Skipping around lap 7 now. We're coming across the straight 2/10 off our fastest lap. Team Vodka Shot is still within range, and he was actually making a couple of mistakes when I was behind him, and I said to Jack in the party that he's vulnerable, and in standard Ricardo fashion, I like him vulnerable. We go up the inside at turn 4, making a little bit of contact, trying to get the move done up the inside of him through turn 5, the flat out corner, and that is us into the lead. We're going defensive, trying to give MVP 0 some sort of slipstream just to hopefully keep them battling as we run wide through the next corner. And surprised me, he's actually left the session. He had already retired actually, but MVP 0 is trying to drive around the outside of us. We're going to try and get the power as early as possible to make the move stick, and that's Team Vodka Shot going from first to third as standard. Me at Malaysia and STS, I was meant to say, and running wide through Cop's corner. But like I was saying, Vodka Shot, I think he had less pace than myself and MVP 0, so he was kind of just a cork in the bottle for us too, and he was just holding us up really. And MVP 0, he's matching my pace. As you can see, he's trying to pull out of the slipstream. He's got the DRS, he's going to be quicker down the straight. I'm not quite sure what air he's running. I'm running like 3.5 air. We're going to slightly make a bit of contact, and he's had to overcorrect that. He's gone way off the circuit, and that's kind of desync. I'm not going to lie. We didn't actually make contact on my screen, and he's had to go way off the circuit because on his screen we've made contact, and he's lost the rear end. He's had to correct it. He's driven way off the circuit, so that's really unfortunate for him, and he's now behind Team Vodka Shot. But he's still ahead of ESR Amazed. But now we're into the lead, comfortable lead at the moment, but Vodka Shot is still all over the back of us. And we're going to skip to, well, further around lap 9 actually. Coming into Stoke Corner, but again, like as you can see, we're not pulling away from Vodka Shot. And MVP 0, he's a little bit further behind after that mistake. It's a little bit of a messy exit there, or messy entry I should say. And as you can see, Amazed has actually gone to P3. That's MVP 0 actually pitting. And I noticed after, I think it was after sector 1 that I saw that Amazed was third. I was like, okay, and I looked at I saw that there was just a 3-man train at the moment, so I knew that MVP 0 must have made a pit stop. But this lap actually was very, very scrappy. So many mistakes were made. So we've got to come into the pit lane now to set on a set of soft tyres to go to the end. But that's a bit of an issue. We've misjudged when we were going to be braking for the pit lane, and we've sped. We've got a 5-second stop-go penalty, and this could be curtains, depending on the penalties for MVP 0 and Team Vodka Shot, because I wasn't pulling away, so this could be pretty bad. We're coming out the pit lane though. We've got to make sure that we're ahead of MVP 0, and with the undercut, it's worked an absolute treat. He's come out of the pits, he's gained like 2 seconds on me. Fair enough, my lap wasn't very good, but he's gained about 2 seconds, and he's made up 2 places. As you can see, Jesus Christ, that's made this car just doing whatever it is that made this car is doing. But as you can see, we're purple in the middle sector, as you can see on the little mini-map. We knew now, we've got to make up a 5-second gap. We've got plenty of laps, we've got something like 16 laps to go. And skipping around further around lap 12 actually. We've got the pace. We know that we've got good pace, and we have to make moves now. We can't just sit behind MVP 0 for about 10 laps and then make a move. We won't. There's not enough time. We need to get in front as soon as possible. As you can see, he's running a bit wide, and I knew that I can't allow them to just make these mistakes and not be punished for them. I need to do something. And as you can see, we're going through the Max Spencer section. Both taking really good lines. My line was actually just way better and lagged a little bit, which is not what I really want to see. Going for the DRS, you can see we're going purple by over a second at the moment. Trying to use whatever there is left of the slipstream, although there is just nothing. Just using DRS, and we're getting really close to the back of MP0. Gotta see, can we step on the inside into the Belgian chicane? No, we can't. We're not going to go for a desperate lunge, but he is going to make a mistake though. We're going to try and get a good run. He was a little bit scrappy though. We're not quite getting the run that we needed. Like, there was a perfect opportunity there, but we're going to set the fastest lap of the session, and so is Team Vodka Shop though. And that's what I mean. All three of us were so even. You see, MVP Zero is now at the disadvantage with the whole. He made an earlier pit stop, but we're preparing to. He's actually going defensive there, and he's actually missed the braking point. We're going to take advantage of this. This is one of the mistakes I was hoping for. Up into 5th gear, 6th gear, DRS. We're alongside him, not quite ahead of him just yet. But coming into the whatever corner this is, he's going to try and hang it around the outside. We're going to just squeeze on the power, and we're going to make. Well, we're now into P4 at the moment, but this is net P1 because the other 3 drivers ahead of us haven't actually made a pit stop yet. And this is what we needed. This is exactly what we need. We're in front. There's 40 laps to go, and this is what we. Now we need to pull the gap. As you can see, skipping around further around lap 13. He's still right behind us. Obviously, just getting the DRS, he's gonna keep on the back of us. As you can see, BPRL Imp is just in front of us. He's on very important soft tyres. We're just going to be looking around him. I'm kind of hoping he's going to let us through, but you can just see he's holding us up. We're going to slightly go defensive into turn 4, but not amazed, Imp is still all over the back of us, looking for a move, but thankfully we just defended that, and Imp, I was actually really annoyed at this point, because I thought he was going to let me go, it was going to be all happy daisies, but he's not letting us through, and we're looking to the inside here, but he's parking on the inside. There's nowhere for us to go, and this is, the more he stays in front, the more he's holding us up, and the better chance it gives MP0 and less time we've got to make up the gap. But we're going up the inside of him now. I was actually really annoyed at this, and I kind of just squeezed him off. With that, I couldn't really turn much more, but I was actually really annoyed at that. I'm pretty sure I said in the party, I was like, oh, cheers for making that really difficult, but I mean, he's allowed to defend his position in all fairness, so there's no real reason for me to get upset about that. But of course, considering the circumstances that I'm in, I was a little bit desperate, and I'm really annoyed at that point. But looking back at it now, it's racing incident. There's nothing really wrong with what's going on. You see, running really wide off the circuit at Stowe. But now is the time. We need to make up 5 seconds. And if you remember at the start, obviously we could not pull away from Imp. We can pull away from Zero or Vodka Shot, and it's 0.4 per second now. We need to make gains. We need to do something about this. It was 0.4, remember, but as you can see, you saw his proximity arrows there. 0.4, it's only half a second. It was just not enough. We're not gaining the time that we need. That was on lap 16. As you can see, coming back round after lap 16, heading into lap 17, you can still see he's actually closer. What's that, like 0.2 or something, 0.3? It wasn't enough. And as you can see, lap 24 now, we've obviously with the footage didn't record, and Mather's car is still trying to find a way out of Magnus Becker's chapel. But as you can see, we have pulled away 1 second, I think that says, and you know, we need to take advantage of this now, because at this point I was told that MVP actually had a penalty, so I was pretty much told that I need 2 seconds. I need just 2 seconds ahead of MVP 0, and we would win. As you can see, we're across the line. It was 1.8 seconds. But if you look at my fuel, I haven't got the fuel to do it. As you can see, it's still 1.8 seconds. I think it was actually 1.9 over the line. It went to 1.8. I'm not quite sure. But as you can see, cutting round lap 25. I'm in standard mix, and I'm in the red fuel. I need to start saving my fuel a lot better in races, because it's really damaging me. And Mather's car has seemingly disappeared, I'm not quite sure, but there's still yellow flags. Through sector 2, it's now 2.1 seconds. This is the gap that we need. But we need to save fuel though, that's the problem. As you can see, we're in lean mix, we're going to go into standard. We need to use as much fuel as possible, but we need to save it as well. And as you can see, it's just 2 seconds. And at this point, I'm absolutely sweating it. I'm absolutely juicing up the sweats at the moment. As you can see, we actually missed the apex at turn 3. Just getting on to the apex at turn 4. getting on the power as early as possible. We can only go into standard. We cannot afford to go into rich. I went into rich at some point on lap 25 and it killed my fuel, I think. As you can see, lap 26 with 3/10 down on a PB, but the gap is just 2 seconds again. We're not gaining anything. It's literally hundreds and thousands between us. And Team Vodka Shot's also on the back of MVP Zero, so if he can overtake Zero, that will help us massively. As you can see through Cop's Corner, just trying to scrub off as little speed as possible. It's actually a beautiful run through Cops, I'm not going to lie. Through back to Beckett's Chapel, this is the section that can win us this race. As you can see, pretty good section, I'm not going to lie. Coming to the line, we're coming to past sector 2 now. We used a bit of rich mix, 2.3 seconds. That Maggots, Beckett's and Cops and Chapel, that did us proud there. That section probably saved my race. But it's not over until we get across the line. As you can see, I'm still having to use lean. We're into the green now. And we've actually slightly missed the apex there. I've been struggling with that corner this whole race. As you can see, we're quickly putting it into rich to use as much fuel as possible. We're across the line. And we've actually just about won the race by 1/10 of a second. Oh, you don't understand how delighted I was after that. That guy looks like he has a greasy haircut, but just winning the British Grand Prix for CRL Season 6 by the skin of our teeth. That was too close for comfort. Obviously, it just about paid off. That stop-go really, really killed me, because I didn't have a penalty anyway. I did have 2 warnings. But, yeah, that was a bit too close. I don't really want to experience something like that again. But thankfully we won the race ahead of Zero. Vodka Shot, Amazed, Pred, Boogie, Jamie, Ninjas in his first race gets points ahead of Nuthead and Imp. Zero Hamilton and Surprise met 2 massive championship contenders not finishing the race. And we're going to be having a look at the championship standings now. As you can see, 93 points to Josh, 86 to me. It's pretty good. We need gaps like that, and hopefully we can take the lead in the next race. But anyway guys, thank you for watching this video. First commentated highlights for CRL, so it's a bit different, but thank you for watching this video. Like it if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new for more league racing content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Cheers.